Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to take a look at my glitter drawers. And again, this is one of my art supply comparison videos. It is just kind of going through the things I've collected over the years in this certain category, and hopefully just kind of impart some thoughts and maybe opinions on some of these products in case you are interested in any of them. This is not meant to brag. This is not meant to encourage you to overconsume. I have taught art for a long time. I used to teach kids crafts as well. I had a studio downtown before I had children, and I don't get rid of things just because they go out of style. If I'm going to use them, oh, we got feathers in there too. If I'm going to use it for something, then I hang on to it and I keep it around. I really like glitter. It's not for everybody, so so there you have it. We're going to start off with probably the glitter drawer I get into the most often, and that would be this one right here. And just excuse how kind of grimy these boxes are. These are the Croppin' style drawers. They came in the cubby units that I've had for quite a long time. So I don't think that, I don't even know if Croppin' Style is still in business or not, but you know, for cardboard they've held up really well. They are kind of grimy. They're, you know, my basement studio. It's, you know, it's not Martha Stewart land, so bear with me, will ya? Okay, so I have a pretty big variety of stuff here. These are pretty new and these are still available. I happen to keep them in the box just because that way I'll remember where they came from. These are Arteza glitters. They're a little on the pricey side for these individual pots, but the reason that these are is that they've got different shapes in them. So it's kind of like a glitter and a confetti. I would highly recommend using these in like shaker cards, or making sure you have a good adhesive for these so that they don't flake off, because they do have a lot more texture and a lot more variety of textures. I did recently use these on a project. I think it was a Christmas project. And I'm doing some mermaid cards, so I was thinking about using these or these right here. I guess I could take them out of the box. It probably would make more use, make more sense, because I tend to just like grab, you know, stuff out of this drawer a lot easier. Let's just push that out here. So you can see, well, maybe you can't. I don't know if what the camera will pick up. Can you see there that there's like stars and octagons, and there's different sizes of the flakes in there? Stuff like that, when you have those different sizes, it catches the light more and you get a little bit more sparkle, a little more bang for your buck. So those are available in I think a bunch of different designs. Then again, I have no idea if some of these things are, I'm sure some of these things are discontinued, but clearly you can find similar products. Now, I like to store glitter and embossing powders, things like that, in shallow drawers, and I like to store them upside down if I can. Some things aren't practical to store that way, and you'll see that in a moment, but I like that because you can see what you have and just grab it really easily. Now, this is a copy of these right here because Arteza sent out like a gift box to people who used their products throughout the year last year, and they put this in there, so this is actually a double, so I'm going to leave that in its package. I'll probably give it to a friend. So a lot of these things I do keep kind of shallow and upside down so I can see what they are. Some things I don't like. If it's a glitter shaker where the shaker is actually in the lid, if I flipped it upside down it would spill, like these silver ones. This is kind of like your typical, you know, Christmas craft glitter. I just keep that right side up. And then if it's got a nice cover on it, or like I didn't undo the sprinkles there because it's just easier for me to open this up and kind of pinch out what I want or scoop out what I want. This is a really coarse, crystally looking glitter. I really like this. It's called Twinklets Diamond Dust. And you can find that at craft stores. It's extremely dimensional. Can you see that? It's just got a really coarse, it's very coarse and very sparkly. It's almost like, you know, snow, like when you see fresh snow and it's got that real intense shimmer to it, like a cold snow. That's what those look like. I actually have 2 jars of that. I've used these a lot in kids' craft classes, so often I'll have a couple jars of something because I would have them on different tables for the kids to use. And this thing is a miserable waste of money. I really don't recommend it. However, I use it quite a bit. It is a glitter duster, and like a lot of the products that have come out for crafters, I've found in like the last 2 years, it's a ripoff from the beauty industry. Apparently there is the same thing available to spray like powder, or maybe even find glitter on strippers or something, I don't know. But this is something that came from the beauty industry anyway, and so I'm like, well, I gotta have that. Sprays glitter on things. This makes so much of a mess. If you are somebody that does not like glitter mess, avoid this. It makes such a mess. It's like all your glitter goes airborne. You have to use a really fine glitter with it. I use it on stuff, but my craft room's in the basement, and I can kind of like contain it a little bit, but this would just get everywhere. So I just want to warn you. I mean, if you like glitter all over everything, including yourself, go for it, but yeah, every time I use it too, I'm like, this is a miserable thing, and I use it quite a bit. So I guess if I say, how often do you use the thing as a judge of whether it's good or not, then this is fantastic. But I can't, I have to warn people because I know how passionate people are about glitter. I really enjoy the Making Memories glitter. Of course, Making Memories went out of business maybe 10 years ago, but I really liked that they had their glitter in these little flip top, almost like acrylic paint containers. For some reason, I found that a very easy way to dispense glitter. That worked really well. Of course, to gather it back up, you'd have to unscrew the top and just kind of use a paper and dump it back in, but that's not a big deal. I just thought that was really easy. If you tip it over, it was less likely to spill everywhere like some of the other containers, and they came in really pretty colors. I really like those. They have everything from like a sugary coating, just looks like colored sugar, all the way up to a coarser, more traditional glitter. I generally will use the finer glitters for my projects, but you know, especially when you're doing holiday crafting and you're crafting with kids, it's really nice to have those different textures of glitter. Now these are more of like a shaved ice glitter, and these probably came from the dollar store or Martin's or something like that, but they're almost like little flakes, like almost like mica flakes. They just have a very subtle, more satiny kind of sheen to them. Very pretty. Sometimes you just want a different texture with your glitters. This is again one of those kind of coarse, more children's glitters, but it's really pretty. I got some really nice glitters from Paper Mart, and they, I think, are available in these tiny ones for like $1 or bigger containers if you are a teacher and you need a larger container of glitter. And I know like glitter, and this is something else I want to mention, glitter, unless you're getting a glass glitter or a eco-friendly glitter, you know, they're microplastics. So when I'm using my glitter, I try to contain it. I try to make it stick to my project and not have a bunch of waste with it. I don't try to rinse it down the drain or whatnot. I think a lot of the glitter that's getting into the environment that's causing problems is more of product, like glitters that have been put into beauty products and not so much our crafting glitters. So if you've been worried about that and you've got a bunch of glitter and you're not using it because you're worried about microplastics, just make sure it gets stuck to your project. Make sure that the excess goes in the trash or you vacuum it up. You know, don't rinse it down the sink, obviously. I think that's where a lot of it's coming from, the microplastics in the environment. But then again, you know, use your best judgment. I don't buy glitter frequently, but I have a lot from different projects because generally you don't use up a ton of it. It takes a lot of time to use up a vial of glitter. These little glitters here, they're in different shapes like stars and dots and whatnot, and these came from the Dollar Tree, I believe, with a nail art for you to put like with your fingernails. See, that would, well, no, I guess if you use a polish remover and you took the nail polish off and threw that away, your glitter would end up in the trash. But I thought they were really pretty for both on projects, and also if you were to like glue the cork in and like maybe do wire wrapping around the neck, you could use this as a charm on some jewelry. I thought that would be really pretty. I actually did get some small vials of glitter like that that actually have a loop on the top that I intend to make jewelry with. So these here are Doodlebug Design glitters. I'm not, they're probably no longer available, but they're spots. They're like polka dot glitter almost. You know, they're not fine. They're all circular. I just think it's an interesting texture. They had a set of like 12 of them or something. I recommend buying the sets of a variety of colors, but smaller quantities, because it just takes so long to use up different glitters. And aren't they cute? They're pretty to look at. They're pretty to look. If you had a little curio or a little letterpress cabinet, you could actually put these up on the little shelves and it would be so cute. In fact, I could do that. I've got one of those over there, but I got a bunch of small stamps in it. There's some more of the Paper Mart glitter, which is a nice ultra fine. Most of it's an ultra fine glitter, which is really pretty on projects. I really recommend having a clear ultra fine glitter. Let's see, I should have one. I put mine in this duster, but I think I do have another container of it, because you can do so many projects, such as like put down score tape, like a sheet of adhesive on a project, and then you can coat it with a clear glitter. You could even stamp and color on it once you burnish it down without damaging your markers. It's a really pretty technique. Or you could stamp on the paper, color it, and then do the tape and the glitter on top of it, which is also really pretty. I also save my empty bottles of glitter and embossing powder because they're really great, like if you like to make your own faux snow, and you do that by like rubbing styrofoam balls together, and then you get this really fine, like snow-like dust, and you can actually color that with your re-inkers, like your alcohol inks, and make Flower Soft. Do you remember that product? You can make your own Flower Soft by doing that, and it's just really pretty if you stamp, let's say you stamp like a botanical thing with a bunch of little flowers and stuff, where you do those art impressions watercolor stamping projects. You could put the glitter over the flowers, and you could sprinkle on the Flower Soft, and it just gives you a pretty very, very lightweight dimensional look. I also have my flock in here. A flock is just like a very fine like fabric powder, and you use that by putting adhesive down on your project. Say you have a die cut of a bunny, you might like die cut it with adhesive on it so it's sticky, then you'd sprinkle the flock on it and press it down really well, and then you've got this like textured element to put on a card or a scrapbook layout or something like that where you want that dimension. Or you could, if you had like, you made a jewelry box or something, you could paint the inside of the jewelry box with adhesive and then dump the flock in and shake it up, and then you'd put the extra flock back in the container. So that's very slow wearing, and I have a bunch of that also by Doodlebug. A couple of years ago I was at Michael's and I saw that they had glass glitter, and I bought some of that. Now glass glitter, at least this kind from Michael's, is not as sparkly as other glitters, but it does give you that kind of vintage German feel to your work. It just has that nice kind of like, you know, the colors are kind of muted, they're not as sparkly, they're just kind of you know, they're just kind of antique looking. And those I keep upright because they're just got a cork and the glass bottle, and I think if I flip them upside down the corks might come loose and then I would waste all that product. So glass glitter is an option if you don't want to have the plastic glitter. Just keep in mind that is sharp. It's not for kids' craft projects, so don't buy that for use with children. I'll get into some other eco-friendly options towards the end because they're in my other box there. But I just think they're very pretty. They're very subdued, and they're just a nice option. But they're sharp, so I wouldn't also put them on a card for kids either. They would be more for like a vintage home decor product or project, or maybe even redoing the glitter that's on an older craft that you might have, like an heirloom craft that you have. This is another, Nuvo. This is if you are looking for glitter. I know these are not discontinued. They make a nice glitter. They make nice products like that, sparkly products. I don't have too many, but what I have seems to be just fine. And this is another one of those ultra fine glitters, just like what I have in here. Just for, you know, if you could only have one glitter, I would do something like this, just an ultra fine. This is Stamp On It's glitter crystals and clear. This is also really pretty. If you take a glue pen and say you stamp and color something, it's really pretty. Then you take the glue pen and you draw over certain areas, like maybe if there's a pond or a lake, you could, or a tree, you could just kind of draw over where you want the sparkle and sprinkle that on. It's such a pretty look because it almost gives movement to scenes like that. If you like to do landscape stamping or stampscapes, it's a really nice way to get a little movement and flash on a flat colored image. So that would be if you can only have one glitter, if you're not crazy about glitter but you want something just for a little bit of hint here and there, go for an ultra fine clear glitter. You're going to find that so versatile and you'll use it for so many projects. Another thing I have in my glitter bin besides the flocking, and I do have the flocking in a couple of different sizes. Stamp Pendus I think still makes the fun flock. So if you are looking for that, I'm not sure if Doodlebug does anymore, but that's an option. I find these larger jars, though I bought those secondhand at a yard sale, they just take forever to use up unless you're doing like jewelry boxes or something where you need a lot of flocking. For crafting, I find that it just... And when you take it out of the jar to use it and you try to put it back in, it's like it breeds and multiplies. It's like getting it back in the jar to take up the same space is impossible. It's like doubles its size when you dump it out. So I'd highly recommend small jars, or I don't know, maybe splitting it with a friend or something, because it's like, you buy a jar, it lasts you forever, it seems like. But anyway, what else I have in here are my microbeads. Microbeads are fun for adding dimension, and if you're going to use microbeads, I have a bunch from Art Accents? I don't know if it's the same company that does the Art Glitter Glue. I'm trying papercraft actually. And they had packs you could buy that had the glitter and the microbeads together. And I really liked the microbeads. The way I use them is I will use score tape or any really strong double-sided scrapbooking adhesive. And say if you want to, like, these are pretty, you can put them on pens, you can put them on whatever you want. So if I was going to cover a pen, I would take the score tape and I would wrap the barrel of the pen, usually like a Bic pen. Now your cap's not going to fit back on it if you do this, so just keep that in mind. And then I would sprinkle on the microbeads, then I would heat it. because micro beads are glass. Then I would heat it, and then I would roll it and press it down really well, because the heat really makes the adhesive activate and grabs those beads so they're not going to flake off. So if you are going to do any projects with micro beads on them, I highly recommend Score Tape or one of the other companies that make that same product. I just have the Score Tape brand myself, so that's what I'm recommending. But heat it. After you put the sprinkling stuff on, after you sprinkle these on, heat it and just kind of press it or brayer over it to really lock those down, and they shouldn't come off on you. But if you don't, they're going to go everywhere. So that would be my recommendation. And with those Art Accents packs that I got many years ago, I mean, it was probably, either before my kids were born or when my kids were teeny tiny, and they're like, 16 and 18 now. I got a bunch of different packs of the glitter and microbeads. As you can see, they're pretty much still full. You do have to work, like I took mine and put them together in a stack. You can do that with the glitter. The microbeads don't have a problem of flying everywhere, but if I was to do that to the glitter, every time you open the glitter, stuff gets stuck to the lid. It's just more of a messy experience. It's hard to open them cleanly. So I keep them in their own, look at that, just opening it there. I feel like I need to put that back in there. I need to contain that. So the microbeads are not staticky like glitter, so you don't have to worry about that quite as much. But look at that. I mean, just what I got in the threads when I was opening that. The ultra fine glitter is very, very sticky. Also, I would recommend when you're using glitter, what a random video, right? When you're using glitter, don't use the silicone mats, because the silicone attracts all the dust in the glitter. It's very difficult to get to clean, and the only way I've ever been able to get glitter off a mat is by soaking it, like wetting it so it breaks the surface tension. And I'm just going to brush my hands off with my trash can. So, then that will go down the drain, obviously. So I would say, don't use a silicone mat. Work over paper that you can dump the glitter back into your container. So what else is anything different? This was, you can also buy little assortments of glitter. I picked this up at a stamp show, and the reason I bought this, to be completely honest, was that I saw a really brilliant technique, and I think it was a technique I just told you about, doing the landscape stamping and then using a glue pen and drawing like maybe the ripples on the water, things like that, then glittering them. And I really enjoyed that demo, so I bought this set to basically thank them for the demo, because that's why they go to these shows and they demo, because they want to sell products. So I did buy this little set of glitters from that vendor. I think it might have been Northwoods rubber stamps, but it's the same thing as all the other ultrafine glitters, just in a more muted palette. These are tinsels, which is the same. It's like a mylar glitter, but it's just cut in a different shape, so it kind of looks like Christmas tinsel. And by the way, a lot of times you can find these things at the dollar store. See how it's like little lines? Hopefully the camera picks that up. It's just a different texture. When you have those different textures, it just sparkles a little bit different. And there's more microbeads. Microbeads you can buy like one at a time if you just want one color. The clear is extremely useful. I don't know if my clear actually might be in my bin with my acrylic media, because I would use it with like molding paste or gloss gel. You can buy an individual color like this. You can buy them in bags. And or you can get like sets that have smaller pots of the microbeads. Just depends on how much you need and what you're going to be doing for your project. The clear you would probably use more than any of these other colors. The glitter comes in so many different containers. These I probably got at a yard sale, but honestly a lot of my stuff comes from the yard sale. So there's an example of microbeads in baggies. I usually buy glitter on clearance because it's not like it goes bad, and it's not like it really changes that much. Like these are Judykins microbeads that, came in a little jar. Again, more Paper Mart, more making memories. You can also get glitter glue, like stickles. I'm surprised I still have this, because I thought I had given away all my stickles, because I tend to stick my hands in the stickles. That's why I call them stickles, because you're going to stick your hands in it before your project's dry, and you're going to get it all over yourself, and you're going to smear it all over your project. So I don't have great luck with glitter glue, so I don't tend to use them. I thought I gave all mine away, but I guess I kept a couple for some reason, or I maybe meant to give them away, and those somehow straggled loose. As you can see, it's pretty much the same stuff over and over again, although it might come in different containers. I think I got these pixie sticks of glitter because I was working on a project at a scrapbook store, and I didn't have any glitter for it, so I just bought a few to finish up the project. And again, glitter lasts forever, and a little goes a long way, so I still have a bunch of those. They're in little test tube things. So this may really drive somebody who's very particular about how their craft room looks. Glitter is so pretty to set it on like shelves and display it, but when you have a bunch of different shapes and containers, it could be a little frustrating. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're somebody that wants to display your glitter, wants to have it out, you might want to start off by buying like an assortment from one company, because they're probably going to rebrand or go out of business or discontinue the product and you won't be able to find it again. So you might want to just buy everything from like in a big pack from one company. It'll be cheaper overall, and then as long as you're not tempted to upgrade and buy more glitter every time that, you know, I don't know, every time more comes out. Again, different shapes. I like the different shapes because you can add different like looks to your product. I also have, I guess I kept my glitter glues that I still have in here because I've got a couple of their tiny little Nouveau products that came in a kit, like a little box or something. I don't tend to use the liquid glitter products because I don't have the patience, or maybe I forget that there's wet stuff on my card. I tend to mess them up too easily. Again, ultrafine. I like the ultrafine glitter. They're probably a little bit more versatile and they're a little bit more subtle, if you like a little more subtle look on your glitter. So, I mean, I didn't take everything out, but I think you get the gist of it. It's all pretty much the same. I don't know if I'd trust putting these upside down just because of those flip-top caps. I'd be afraid they might pop open on me. So in the other container, I actually it was about a year ago, maybe not last year, but because it's just now 2021, I think it was towards the end of 2019, I found out about biodegradable glitter. And I thought that was pretty interesting because I'm very, concerned about the environment, and I don't want to be wasteful. When I buy something, I want to use it and I want to enjoy using it. I don't want to feel guilty every time I use it. So I decided to get some eco-friendly glitters to try out, and I did a little bit of a test. And so let's see, what did I do here? I had the Eco Glitter and Standard Glitter and Glass Glitter. Okay, so I was doing a comparison. Now, this is like your Paper Mart, Making Memories Standard Glitter here. This is the Eco Glitter here, and this is a Glass Glitter. And I just tried to get the most similar colors as I could from these projects. Now, I found that the Standard Glitter, especially with a clear or a kind of holographic glitter, that the Standard was brighter. I also find the Standard Glitter just kind of burnishes down smoother on double-sided tape here. You can see it's very velvety. It doesn't feel like sandpaper here, but the Eco does feel like sandpaper, and the glass definitely is rough. And then I also did a coarser glitter, and again on the tape, the Standard Glitter just held better to the tape and just burnished down better. And it also just looked a little bit sharper. However, the Eco Glitter is not bad, and I don't think this would be a problem, especially if you're going to do projects with children. If you're doing like I used to do art birthday parties back before I had kids, and I would bring all the supplies over to somebody's house, or all the kids would come to my studio, and we'd do a project. And if we were doing a project at somebody's house, generally we'd be in the backyard. So if we were doing a project with glitter, which I don't think I did any really glittery projects then, but if I was, I could use the Eco Glitter, and then if some blew off, the project onto the ground, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, because biodegradable glitter is supposed to be broken down in the environment with like air and water and whatnot. It doesn't dissolve in water. It's strange. It's got to be in particular conditions. So that's another thing you want to keep in mind. It's not like if you buy the biodegradable glitter and you make a big mess and you just sweep it up and throw it in the trash. It's not going to biodegrade unless it gets that. It's got to have like light air and heat or something like that in order to biodegrade. So it's not like it's a free pass to make a mess and waste your glitter. You should always think of these products, whatever you buy, whether you buy environmentally friendly products or you buy standard products, think about how you're actually, the end treatment of it. Don't waste it just because it's environmentally friendly, because if it doesn't get the perfect conditions for breaking down, it's not going to break down. In fact, I put some of the Eco Glitter in a baby food jar full of water just to see if it would break down in the water, because I was like, I wonder if this can be used for snow globes. It didn't break down in the water. It wasn't the best snow globe glitter. It was fine, but I did find it kind of clumped at the surface a little bit more, but it didn't break down in there. So I mean, if you're gonna, I guess it's better than using regular glitter if you're gonna use it as like a costume on face paint or something like that, but still, it's not like it's gonna go down the drain and just break down. It's got to have the biodegradable environment to break down. I hope that makes sense. And then I just compared it with glass glitter. So it's still pretty sparkly, still pretty good, not quite as flashy as a standard. If I'm doing a scrapbook page or a art journal layout or a card and I know that's going to be glued down in glue, I don't think it would be really worth it to use the Eco Glitter, because the Eco Glitter is not going to break down if it's surrounded in PVA glue, which is basically a plastic. So, you know, I think as long as you're mindful of your supplies, you shouldn't really have too hard of a time. Also, these, I just tried this brand, there's different brands. These came in some pretty big packets, which is kind of fun. Honestly, I think I might give these to a teacher friend of mine, because I don't think I'll ever get through that much glitter. Maybe I'll just put some in a couple, keep a small container of them and then give those to a teacher. And then I've got the Arteza Glitter. So this is really nice. I made little swatches with tape on the tops of the glitter containers. I think this is a very affordable way. This is the 48 set. I saved the box and just used this because it came with a really nice insert. But I believe they have a larger set now even. But it's a nice variety color. You get that really popular clear glitter with a little bit of holographic finish that I think is probably the most useful. But it's a really nice smattering of colors, and I don't think you really need a huge bottle of any of these because they're so low wearing for an average crafter. You know, if you're doing projects, you know, with a scouting group, or you're a teacher, or you're doing Sunday school and you need a lot of glitter, then it's probably not the best way to go. But if you're an average crafter who wants a variety, I think it's a really nice way to go, and pretty affordable. So keep that in mind. There are, you know, like I mentioned, other companies that do biodegradable glitters. If you wanted a smattering of biodegradable colors, that's certainly an option. So so there's that. I also have some other random things in here because it's sparkly stuff. I keep my sequins in here. As you can see, 99 cents Martins. I just buy sequins when I see them on sale, and I tend to glue them on cards as embellishments. I'll also get the shaped sequins and like packs like that, and this is just sequin soup. They're all just kind of in there, either loose or in their packages. This is a container from the Dollar Tree. I find it's easy enough for me to fish through and see what I have, and that works for me. So for those, you know, moments I want sequins, I know right where to find them, and I have a nice variety, I feel. And if I saw an assortment at a yard sale, I might grab it if it's something unique. So there is my glitter sequin stuff. I also keep my color refills in here because I don't really have a better place for them. So my storage is not perfect, but it works for me, and I can find my glitter when I need it. So I hope that was helpful. I feel so random, but I'm getting decent response for these from these videos. People seem to enjoy it. I don't know if just, you know, I don't know if it's informative and useful, or if, you know, it's just fun being nosy. I don't know. But it's, you know, I think it's nice to see what other people have and what's worked well for them, and what, you know, has been a waste of money. I don't consider my glitter and micro beads and stuff a waste of money, because I do pull them out quite frequently, and I never have to go buy glitter because I've amassed such a collection over the years that and I'm happy to have it and happy to use it, and I think it brings a lot of joy, and I just try to be mindful of it so I don't end up polluting everything. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, let me know. Specific brand names, I might not know specific brand names, and a lot of these companies have gone out of business over the years, or they've discontinued the products. So probably your best bet is to wander down the aisle of a craft store and see what you can find. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.